Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is DeadlyDrew. I will be the Shoutcaster for this evening's College Football 25 event. I will be shoutcasting here for the post-university Eagles. My name, again, is DeadlyDrew, at Drew Gelati. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is having a great evening here, and we are going to get started with the college football action very shortly. We have the ECAC, the Eastern College Athletic Conference, College Football 25 Playoffs, Top 16. Tonight is Post University versus Bruton Parker and North Carolina Western University. And as well, we have a couple of more matchups for you guys planned tonight. But our first matchup is about to begin very shortly here. Going to be getting started momentarily. And with that, we'll be right back. We have some good players tonight scheduled. Very excited. Hope everyone is too. We'll be right back in a few minutes to get these matches started. I'll be right back. Like I said, pleasure to have everyone here tonight. This is your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew. Seeing you guys very soon with some college football action. All right. Welcome back, everyone. DeadlyDrew here as your shoutcaster this evening for this college football action. Let's take a look at the ECAC playoff bracket real quick. I'm going to pop this up. So as you see here, we have a lot of post-university students within this college football 25 ECAC college football 25 playoff bracket. So we're going to see a few matches tonight, including post BigSneezy versus the winner of the North Carolina Wesleyan University player, which is CQ. I do not have the official name for the player yet, so we're going to just say it's CQ. And then we also have post Adonis taking on the Wayne State Mason Mass, I believe his name is. Him? Yes, Wayne State Mason Mass. And also we have post University's MunDayne versus the Bruton Parker, I believe I'm saying that right, Bruton Parker University's Gabriel Flowers. Excellent matchups planned for this evening. Really excited for it. We have 3 different matchups going on, and we are going to be starting very soon here. Our first matchup is going to be to MunDayne in the post-university player spot versus the Bruton Parker player, which is Gabriel Flowers. Our first matchup begins now. And yet again, it is my pleasure to bring you guys this casting event. And here we go into the game here. Going to be getting set up here.
Welcome everybody, and we
And it is the start of our game. So, looks like we have the Texas Longhorns being played by Bruton Parker. And also we have the Georgia Bulldogs being played by Post University's MunDayne. Two top college football teams facing off here this evening. It will be interesting to see how these players react to each other. If one player plays extremely offensively, goes for the long game or the rush ball, playing on the ground. Both teams very successful on the ground. Both teams very good in the air as well. So it'll be interesting to see how each player starts their advance in this football game. So it looks like we have... Oh, my mistake. It's Alabama. For some reason, I thought it was Texas. That is my mistake, folks. So we have Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Georgia Bulldogs. We have two MunDayne on the Georgia Bulldogs here. And it looks like we're going to be taking a pause break. Our first pause break here of the match. First time out here as MunDayne gets his player bracket all set up. Georgia Bulldogs, a lot of high-rated overall players. Making sure that MunDayne has a strategy here. It looks like he is switching up some of the tight ends. He's switching up some of the... Yeah, it looks like he is switching up his defense roster here at the moment. Making a few changes. MunDayne, a very experienced college football player as well here at Post University. Has been playing the game for quite some time. Very dedicated player to his craft, so he knows which players to sub in, which players to take a seat on the bench for a little while. And we'll see here how his first offensive run goes as the Georgia Bulldogs vying to receive first. Speed over everything. Quick in-game comms from the man himself. A lot of ways to play college football here. Speed is one of them. It looks like that is going to be his strategy coming out the gate. We'll see if it pays off for him.
On first down, here comes this offense.
First down of the game here. Going off for a run. Good run on the 31-yard line. 6-yard pickup. Going for that ground and pound early on, picking up a few good crucial yards there, getting that first down, trying to go a couple of yards at a time to pick up these first downs. Trying to make plays, but don't want your opponent, obviously, to get too onto the plays. Oh, what an excellent pass. Quick delay there in the game. Excellent, and a touchdown on the second play of the game. MunDayne, excellent play. Goes with the ground and pound. I think the opponent from Bruton Parker thought that he was going to go for another ground and pound run there. Was set up for a blitz there, and MunDayne comes in with a great across the field hook pass play to take it down, beat the defender all the way down on the second play of the game and grabbing a touchdown. Georgia Bulldogs asserting that dominance early here. Let's see if the Alabama Crimson Tide can counter. And also we'll see if there are any plays that MunDayne might have made as far as defense-wise. No, he subbed in a few players, couple of defensive backs here. Alabama looking for a little bit of ground game of their own and gets a nice pickup there. Nice jump play pass now, passing play. Each player doing a run play, pass play here. And it seems like it's working. Throwing up a little bit of a mix-up here, keeping their opponents guessing. To MunDayne looks like going for quite a few cover plays here. Zone coverage plays. Wide receiver in motion. Big run play here. Going to be able to slip away, and a touchdown for Bruton Parker, Alabama University here. Crimson Tide. Bruton Parker University, Alabama State. Gonna go for the extra points here. And gets it. 2-point conversion. Excellent 2-point conversion from Bruton Parker's player. And now we are going to have a kickoff return, and we'll see if MunDayne can add some more aggression in this game. It seems like both players coming out very hot, confident in their run and passing game. Now this is the part of the game I like to see, both players showing offensive aggression. Now we'll see who's the first one that can make a couple of defensive stops here and make the game interesting. Or will it be just an all-out offensive battle? Back and forth, the ground pound converting into a little bit of a pass and run game back and forth. Looks like MunDayne here on the Georgia Bulldogs going to go for a nice throw, nice route play. Going to pick up at least 10 yards there. Another first down here. Starting to mix up a little bit more of the passing plays. Nice little run play. Pick up a few yards there, 1 or 2 yards. Important to mix up your opponent, mix up these plays. Will be interesting to see now which player goes for maybe a longer stretch of passes. Nice defensive play there by the Alabama Crimson Tide Bruton Parker University player. We will be heading to our next game here very soon. Like I said, we have 3 games going on tonight this evening. This is our first game going to be paying attention to, which is Post University's MunDayne versus Bruton Parker's. Excuse me, I do not have the player name at the moment. Gonna have to pull up the chart here when we get to the caster screen again. Here we go. Nice plays by the Georgia Bulldogs to MunDayne on a run here. Great run play, really still staying committed to the run play. Excellent job. Able to grab a massive yardage play. Staying to the run game, it was stopped a few times by the Bruton Parker Alabama Crimson Tide player. Oh, and a nice sack there coming in, looking for a passing play, just not there. Might have been better to throw it away there rather than lose the yardage, but giving up a few yards, not bad after that huge running play here. The momentum still on to MunDayne's side here on the Georgia Bulldogs. But we'll see who can get this first stop. Alabama Crimson Tide able to get a few stops here. Bruton Parker University on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Able to come up with a sack and a few defensive run stops. Quarterback moving though. No one paying attention to him and able to slip into MunDayne with the energy and the gritty in the end zone. Excellent play with a quarterback. Maybe a little bit more quarterback protection there, but no. able to get in through the pocket, no one defending him, no one watching him, and just able to run it into the end zone. Nice play by MunDayne. Taking the lead here and offering to go for the 2 points as well. Looking for the corner play and gets it. 2 points. Conversion is good. Both players converting on their 2-point conversion. Finding success with the extra 2 points. And finding success finding the end zone early on here in this game. First quarter almost coming to a close here. And with that, we are going to take a quick break over to, once again, our other matchups this evening. Our other matchup this evening is including Post Adonis versus the North Carolina Wesleyan University. And we also have Post BigSneezy as well, coming up against another player from North Carolina Wesleyan University. And the winner of these teams will advance. This is 16, so this will be going down to 12 within this next bracket here. And we will be checking on our other players here as they are live right now, going to start tuning into what is another Alabama Crimson Tide game versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Both players have chosen their teams and are underway. Here we go. And we are underway here with BigSneezy 19 on the Post University side versus the North Carolina Wesleyan University player, who I am looking at the roster right now. Apologies, folks. Trying to find these players' names. So, we have Sauce. Is that the player's name? It is Mason Moss. And he is playing again. Oh, no, sorry. Once again, this bracket is not the best designed here with lines. So we have BigSneezy versus North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ. This is our match we are tuning into right now. Apologies there, folks. Trying to read this bracket as well as decipher these players' gamer tags and also the teams they are picking. And then we're jumping right into the action here with BigSneezy 19. Playing on the Alabama State Crimson Tide versus the North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ on Ohio State. Alabama Crimson Tide going up 6-0 here. BigSneezy taking the lead early. Remember, folks, as this playoff goes on, this is elimination matches. This is also best of 3. So we will be hopping back and forth between watching each one of these collegiate players trying to compete here and advance within this playoff bracket. So we'll see the North Carolina Wesleyan University's player CQ on the Ohio State Buckeyes. And we'll see how their offense starts out. See if they can answer back to BigSneezy 19's Alabama Crimson Tide's touchdown. Just missed the first touchdown. We just caught the celebration act at the end of it. But the 7 points are up. And now it is time for the Ohio State player to answer North Carolina Wesleyan University CQ. See if he can put some points on the board here and tie this game up. We'll see how both players come out here as well.
He's got the chance to be the next great Buckeye back. Offensive linemen love to run the power. Why? You run power. You run power. Then you can play action. You don't want that defense to be sitting there saying it's a pass, having to pass block every play. You've got to keep defenses off balance.
Little touch pass to the receiver.
Looks like the North Carolina Wesleyan University player on the Ohio State Buckeyes is looking to vie for some run plays here, some ground and pound, advancing their way to the end zone, trying to pick up these crucial first downs. We'll see if BigSneezy 19 for Post University on the Alabama Crimson Tide can come up with some defensive plays here. Both players mixing it up. Seeing a lot of mix-ups tonight. No one sticking to just the ground game or just the passing game. Mixing up. Some players vying for speed. Other players vying for just the strength and the push to get to each first down. Mixing up each plays. And a big sack coming in there for the Alabama Crimson Tide Post-University player, BigSneezy 19. Able to slip through the defense there. Get a nice sack. Still in the first quarter, 3rd and 5 here for Ohio State's North Carolina Wesleyan University's player, CQ, and nice passing play there. On 3rd and 5, able to convert. Nice passing play. And mixing it up once again with another run play. Getting closer and closer to the end zone with these passing and running mix-up plays. BigSneezy 19 able to get one sack in. Can he get another? Oh, and almost a fumble, bobbled it in the defender's hands. Another huge sack for BigSneezy Post University on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide. Comes another passing play. BigSneezy, going for a couple of tackles. Missed, juked out of a couple tackles. Nice play by the North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ on Ohio State to get in a couple of jukes there. Still advancing towards the end zone. Going for another run play here. Nice job by BigSneezy to shut that run play down on 2nd and goal here. And we'll see if they're able to convert. Or will Alabama be able to stop them? And no! Ohio State puts 7 of their own up on the board. Well, technically 6, hopefully 7. Nice job by the North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ here to get his Ohio State Buckeyes into the end zone and convert this extra point. A nice drive of 85 yards, a mix-up of passing plays and running plays. Sacked a few times, but not enough to stop the advance. Nice 85-yard advance by the Ohio State Buckeyes player, CQ. And for our third matchup here, we are going to be tuning on over to Post Adonis versus Wayne State Mason Mass.
Here comes that Alabama offense. After standing on the sideline, he won that long touchdown drive.
So a lot of great matchup this evening. A lot of great matchups coming at you guys real soon here. Going to bring up another one, as we are managing 3 matches at once this evening. A lot of college football action going on. Going to be tuning in now to the next game, which is, once again, this is Post University's Adonis versus Wayne State's Mason Mass. Post University Adonis on the Ohio State Buckeyes versus Mason Mass of Wayne State on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Seeing a lot of meta college football teams here tonight. Ohio State and Alabama. And why wouldn't you? 2 of the top performing college football states in the country. Can't forget about them Longhorns, of course. But at the moment, Alabama, Ohio State, and of course can't forget about Michigan either. And yet again, we're seeing another change up here from another player. So I like how all these players are really in tune with their lineups, making some changes on the offensive lines here, changing a few wide receivers around. We'll see if these kind of strategic plays end up playing off for these guys, playing out in these types of tactical plays here that these guys are trying to make. Nice sack there by the Alabama Crimson Tide player. Incomplete pass, but good tackle at the end there. Pass out, interception. Excellent interception play there. And in the end zone with a 43-yard pick six. The post-university Donnie is his Twitch name. This is Adonis, post-university's Adonis. Excellent pick six defensive play there. And another kickoff to the Wayne State player Mason Mass on the Alabama Crimson Tide. We'll see if they can answer that play back. And we're going to check in once again on, just going to keep the caster screen up here with the actual stats of each game right now. And this is our ECAC College Football 25 playoff bracket. We're going to hop back on with MunDayne here versus the Bruton Parker Gabriel Farmer. Bruton Parker University Gabriel Farmer. That is the official player name that we are going to tune into here this evening. This is our first game. This was the game that we tuned into originally. And we'll see how the score is going. Looks like MunDayne is right now able to drive the score up a little bit here. 22-8. Having some success, finding some success. Missed a few nice plays, unfortunately, because we are tuning into 3 broadcasts at once. But here might be a big play. Oh, close. No interference call there. Playing good defense at the moment.
But I wouldn't try to get it to him in double coverage. I think you have to let the defense's coverage dictate who gets the ball. There was somebody else open on that play.
Coming after it.
And a nice stop on defense there. Great sack from MunDayne post-university. On the Georgia Bulldogs, looks like he's finding some success on the defense.
Whatever happened to that guy?
A washed up old guy. I've heard bad things about that guy. But no, when you look at these defenses Georgia's had, these dominant defenses, man, it's just big.
And we'll see here if the Bruton Parker University player can get a catch, and he does.
Go. Gets it down to the 37.
Gets it down to the 37 here.
Play up. We've seen earlier in the game
MunDayne going to have to come up with a few defensive stops here to try to preserve this lead. Oh, and it bounces twice out of his hands, and you see the reaction of the Butterfingers play. Close, very close, but unfortunately not enough to turn the ball the other way just yet.
And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down.
Manages to get a stop on that play. We'll see if he can get a big stop here to preserve his lead. Pressure coming.
Flushed out of the pocket.
Running out of options. Oh, finds the man downfield. The very last second spin move juked. And what a nice play from the Bruton Parker University player.
They'll try to tack one more on their score.
Gabriel Farmer. Want to give Credit where credit is due there.
Up and good as they draw just
Kudos to Gabriel on that play.
80-yard drive.
Nice 80-yard drive on the Alabama Crimson Tide and tightens the score up. And we're going to check in with our other game now.
Very quick decision to take off and run. Try to get his offense some positive yards.
The Buckeyes getting set on 1st and 10.
Going back here to BigSneezy versus North Carolina, or excuse me, I keep saying North Carolina. It is North Carolina Wesleyan University. I just didn't want to mispronounce it. So many different college names tonight. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing them all correctly.
INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Not only did they get the interception, but they're able to get a huge
So we have BigSneezy versus North Carolina Wesleyan University CQ here.
interception. They've got guys turning
BigSneezy on the Alabama Crimson Tide
to get a hat on.
and North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ on the Ohio State Buckeyes here. Tight game, 14-10.
And a good solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
BigSneezy on the offensive drive here, getting close to the end zone.
Yards for the day.
Let's see if the North Carolina Wesleyan player, CQ on the Ohio State Buckeyes, can come up with a stop here, or will BigSneezy extend his lead?
Be short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
Nice defensive stop there.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal.
Trying to pick up this first down here, able to do it, looking for more, and won't be able to get into the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal.
Be 1st and goal.
It's hard to stop right there. It really is. That's why you run the football consistently.
BigSneezy here,
A big physical unit. You run the
close to the end zone, can almost taste another 6 points, and he gets it.
Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
Touchdown Crimson Tide, going for the extra point here and able to convert. 21-10, BigSneezy for Post University in the second quarter.
Kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
We'll see if the North Carolina Wesleyan player playing the Ohio State Buckeyes can tighten this game up, tighten the gap.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field.
Ohio State,
Here in the first half, they'll have a chance.
extremely deadly offense,
defensive play caller here has to really be
if not played tightly against by the defense of Alabama and BigSneezy
best stuff in this two.
for Post University.
Such a good opportunity to cut into a one-score game, create that momentum, get some good juices going for the second half. Because obviously
Both players vying to mix it up here on the ground game and the passing game.
happen, and it needs to happen on this possession.
BigSneezy looking for some zone coverage here, but not covering the quarterback,
And he scoots his way to the first down.
as the North Carolina Wesleyan University player
Offense with a fresh set of downs.
playing the Ohio State Buckeyes, CQ, able to advance with his quarterback
They're setting up the screen.
and gain another first down, converting on a lot of these first downs here. 2nd and 1,
Down leaves them in second and manageable. The Buckeyes
going with a very quick play call, stepping up to the line and playing play after play here, not giving Post University's BigSneezy time
29 and picks up a first down. A timeout is
to really get a hold of what kind of play he's making,
points on the board before the half.
what he might do. No reads are coming out that I'm seeing so far.
He wants to
But we'll see if a defensive play can be made here. Nice step up. Oh, but able to convert on the first down there. Nice moves by the Ohio State quarterback, played by North Carolina Wesleyan University.
Go get some yards. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation.
Will do as well. We were going to get to each match here, hopping between,
they bring him down.
just trying to respond to chat as well here.
IndyCar tempo as they
And we are going to be swapping over once again to This is Adonis for Post University versus Wayne State Mason Mass. Adonis still able to hold on to this lead here. Ohio State 21, Alabama Crimson Tide 14. Wayne State player trying to advance here. Gain a few points of his own. Tie this game up. We are in the third quarter, almost in the fourth. And that'll be it. Going into the fourth quarter, 21-14 for Post University's Adonis versus Wayne State Mason Mass. Close game here, only separated by 7 points. And next we are going to be tuning back into our first game here with MunDayne versus Bruton Parker University. In the third quarter here, tight game between two MunDayne on Post University Georgia Bulldogs versus the Bruton Parker player Gabriel Farmer on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Great 2-point conversion there. Able to take the lead 31-30. Two minutes left here in the third quarter. Two MunDayne had a pretty dominant start here, but the Bruton Parker player Gabriel Farmer on Alabama Crimson Tide able to tie this game up and then take the lead on that last play. Tight game here, both players not wanting to go home in this ECAC College Football 25 playoffs top 16 bracket. Games are tight, players are focused, and every decision they make in this game, in each one of these games covered tonight, each decision they make could be a make or break moment between them advancing or them going home. And it looks like two MunDayne does not want to go home. Excellent play. Nice Hail Mary. Sees the man going downfield. Hits him right in the gloves. Great play. 6 points on the board. And going for a 2-point conversion rather than taking the points, especially getting later in the game. Gonna try to go for two, and bobbles it. Great defense there at the end. Might have gotten a hand in. Might have not been a bobble here. Defense, I think, actually got a hand in at the very last second. So good play by the Bruton Parker University Alabama Crimson Tide defensive player. So two MunDayne might have to settle. Ball comes loose on the kick return, and two MunDayne recovers on Georgia Bulldogs. So here we go. The 2-point conversion didn't pay off for him, but he gets the ball back anyways. Able to convert maybe again here. Nice spin play. Gets the ball down to the 10-yard line. Nice plays by two MunDayne. Maybe a little bit of luck on that recovery there. Ball bouncing everywhere, but manages to get a player on it. Gets the ball back at the 20 and converts all the way up to the 10. First and 10. 47 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Would definitely be nice to convert on this fortuitous turnover. Let's see if he can hit the man in the end zone. In the end zone and hangs on to it. Two MunDayne converts on the fumble and puts 6 on the board. Now, will he vie for just the single point, or will he go for 2 again? He vies for the single point and is able to convert on that and takes what was a 31-30 game and converts now to a 43-31 game against the Bruton Parker University player. So a tight game, blown open quite a bit there by two MunDayne's plays. Nice job to the Post University player, staying locked in this tight game. Going to be swapping now to our second game of the night, which is Post BigSneezy versus North Carolina Wesleyan University CQ. Post BigSneezy. Post University's BigSneezy. That could be a rapper name, Post BigSneezy. Post University's BigSneezy on the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking a nice 11-point lead here. Trying to add more here. Almost in the red zone here, trying to make some plays with the running. And that is the end of the third quarter. 21-10. Post University's BigSneezy versus North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ on Ohio State. End of the third quarter, 21-10, as the fourth quarter begins here. Will it be enough time for the North Carolina Wesleyan University's player CQ on the Ohio State Buckeyes to come back these 11 points, tie the game up? It's going to have to hold off here and not let Post University's BigSneezy hop in the end zone. But he is inching closer and closer. 3rd and 1. This could be the game right here. CQ on the Ohio State Buckeyes needs to come up with a stop here, but able to convert to the 1st and goal is BigSneezy on Post University. 4 seconds on the play clock here. Trying to get in with the run, but good stop there by the North Carolina Wesleyan player, CQ. Nice job. That was a good stuff there. It's going to need 2 more of those. Maybe even extra if he's going to try to stop it, but no! Gets in, takes a hard hit, but gets into the end zone. BigSneezy with another touchdown. 27-10 in favor of the Post University player BigSneezy on Alabama. 28-10. These are best of 3 games as well, so these are the first games, and this is the fourth quarter of the first game. And we'll see if the North Carolina Wesleyan University player here, CQ on the Ohio State Buckeyes, can make a miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter. 3:02 to go. We'll tune into this game here just for a few more minutes, and then we will hop over to our first game here and check on out of two MunDayne. We'll see how two MunDayne's doing. Back here with two MunDayne as the fourth quarter coming to an end. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. 43-31. Two MunDayne Post University player on the Georgia Bulldogs. And the Bruton Parker University player Gabriel Farmer on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Two MunDayne keeping control of this game within the last 2 minutes here. Got to make sure he doesn't spring a leak. An interception would be probably the worst here, so he wants to avoid that. Keeping it on the ground game, smart play.
They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
Run that clock down.
You have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going. And you're just going to try and keep this thing.
This is a make or break play
ticking. You've got a really nice lead here
for this first match here for the Bruton Parker University player
They bring him down.
on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
That one. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the
Good timeout by the defense, stopping the clock.
their offense. I'd expect
Trying to save as much time as possible here
second and 11
to give the offense a chance.
the gun, the ground game.
But the ground game is being stopped. Excellent job
Timeout called
by the Bruton Parker University player Gabriel Farmer
time as possible.
on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Able to force a 3rd and 11 through some strong defensive plays, some strong tackles. I'm sure he would really like a fumble right about now after those hard hits, but
A long way to go on third down.
no such chance given.
Right here from the tight end.
So to MunDayne from Post University is going to have to find something here at 3rd and 11.
Will.
And he does make a nice run play, gets it to 4th and 1. Will he go for it, or will he go for the kick, the return back to the Alabama Crimson Tide player and try to hold him on defense for a minute 17?
Big 4th down with the lead. What do you want to do on 4th and short?
Big 4th down play with the lead. What will to MunDayne do with it? These are the kinds of make or break plays I was talking about in the beginning of this match. Which player will risk it, go all out,
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions.
and which player will try to play a little bit more conservative.
Fast motion.
And it looks like to MunDayne is going all out. Able to get that first down. Big first down conversion with a minute 14 left.
Hard-earned yards, man. You got to get these first downs any way you can. And sometimes it's not going to be easy, and you can't just do it conventionally.
If he is able to convert here, this might be the end of the first match between to MunDayne and Gabriel Farmer. Post University's MunDayne, to MunDayne, and Bruton Parker's Gabriel Farmer.
He leaves it with the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
I'm assuming it's Bruton Parker University and not just Bruton Parker, but it does say just Bruton Parker. It says Bruton Parker College, not University. My mistake. Apologies for that. It is Bruton Parker College. Just saw their logo.
Picked off.
Huge pickoff play there.
The other way, and he's got room. And he steps out of bounds after getting the pick, and this one is in the books.
And that game is in the books there. Nice job by MunDayne of Post University getting that first match win. And that'll be the end of the first match here, and we are going to tune in to our second game of the night. BigSneezy here, getting ready for his second game. In the menus, and we are going to be finishing up here. Going to tune into the other first game that is going on here. Okay, apologies. Both games have already finished, so we are actually going on to the second game right now. Okay, hopping on here with Post University's Adonis versus Wayne State's Mason Mass. Post University's Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Wayne State player Mason Mass on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Second game here for Adonis. This is the best of 3. Gonna just throw up the update to the score here. Sorry about that. Changed scenes by accident as I was updating the score. Okay, should be good now. All right, let's see here if Post University's Adonis can convert against Wayne State's Mason Mass, playing Alabama Crimson Tide. Seems like he's having some trouble, though. Ball comes out, and it's not ruled a fumble. That looked pretty close to me there, ref. I don't know about that. Looks like there was forward motion on his hand there. Maybe not. Looked kind of close, though. That could have been a bad break. Luckily avoided, though. Gonna have to convert on 4th and 10 here, these Georgia Bulldogs. Post University's Adonis. And not able to catch the ball, but not in bounds. So it'll be a 4 and out for Post University's Adonis. Having some trouble trying to convert on the first downs. So now it'll be the Alabama Crimson Tide turning it over on downs. Wayne State's Mason Mass. Alabama Crimson Tide. Seeing a lot of Georgia Bulldogs, Ohio State, and Alabama Crimson Tide. That seems to be the just the meta of college football. 25, all these teams, but it is how you play, offensively, defensively, strategically, finding the momentum of the game. When is the right time to go all out? When's the time to play more conservative? Both players here seeming to play pretty conservative in their second games rather than in the first, where it seems like they both wanted to hit the ground running. A lot more conservative plays being picked up here, inching closer to the end zone. Is the Alabama Crimson Tide player from Wayne State, Mason Mass, trying to add another 7 points to the lead here against Post University player Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs. Throws but incomplete pass, too low. And turns it over on downs. Both players vying to turn it over on downs. Big hit there. So we'll see if Post University's Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs can tie the game up here. Still early in the first quarter. Almost about to go into the second quarter here. Going deep in the end zone. Got to avoid that sack. Oh, close. Very close. Wayne State player Mason Mass on Alabama Crimson Tide almost coming up with that sack and getting those conversion points for sacking the player in the red zone. Post University Adonis having a little bit of trouble converting here. We'll tune back in and see if he can find his rhythm. And next up, we are going to be tuning into our second game. Our second game being played right now on our third channel, which is Post University's BigSneezy. On board here now with BigSneezy, Post University, playing as the Georgia Bulldogs, and his opponent from the North Carolina Wesleyan University, CQ, is playing the Michigan Wolverines. So finally seeing another team other than the three meta teams, Ohio State, Georgia Bulldogs, and Alabama. Seeing a little bit of Michigan Wolverines. North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ says put some respect on those Michigan Wolverines. Bringing him out here in his second game, seeing if he can tie up the series 1-0 right now for the Post University player, BigSneezy, playing as the Georgia Bulldogs once again.
Defense is about energy. It's about passion. It's about physicality. They need a little bit more of that.
Glad to see there's some viewers in chat here this evening. Welcome, everyone, to this ECAC College Football 25 action. This is the playoffs for the top 16. If you'd like to check up on the bracket in between games, I am swapping back and forth between the brackets so you can check out the action. This is the start of the top 16 players. We are tuning into 3 different games simultaneously tonight. 3 different players vying for their spot in the top 12 here. 3 post-university players. Post-university esports. Talk about converting on points. Post-university esports converting a lot of young esport athletes to college football and other sports titles. Great to see.
Got him looking run. He wants to throw. Floating away. He'll fire to his right. Catch inside the 25.
And a nice catch there. Nice passing play by BigSneezy on the Georgia Bulldogs. Trying to tie this game up here. First quarter. 3 minutes left. 1st and 10. Little bit of a play by the running back there. Able to pick up 4 yards. We've got Post University's BigSneezy trying to go to work here in the red zone, tie this game up. Second match of the evening for him, going up 1-0 in his first match. On 3rd and short here, can he get into the end zone? No, but it'll be 1st and goal, just short. I'm not sure if the tush push is an actual play here in college football 25, but I hear that the NFL is looking to get rid of it, trying to take down the Eagles. But it does not look like he's going to go for any sort of tush push play, looking to try to get the run game going here, but nice job shutting it down. The North Carolina Wesleyan University player, CQ there, staying alert. Knows that run game is going to be active, especially this close in the red zone. And yet again, shutting it down a second time. 3rd and goal. Nice job to CQ. Playing as the Michigan Wolverines, the North Carolina Wesleyan University player. Shutting down BigSneezy's offense right now. Post-university player. Playing the Georgia Bulldogs. And yet again on the run game. 4 in a row. Great defense here from the Michigan Wolverines being played by CQ. 4th and goal. BigSneezy really trying to get into this game. Here comes another run play though. Oh, and a nice little juke fake. And into the end zone. It pays off. Another make or break play coming out here. BigSneezy, it pays off. That 4th and goal. Went for the run 5 times. And finally able to convert. So a 7-7 game here between North Carolina Wesleyan University and Post University. Here is the bracket we were talking about. This is the ECAC College Football 25 playoff bracket here. Going to hop on over to our 3rd game of the evening. Post University's Adonis versus Wayne State's player Mason Mass. Post University's Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs. Wayne State player vying to go for the Alabama Crimson Tide again. This is the second game of the night for Post University's Adonis and Wayne State's Mason Mass. Now let's see here if Post University's Adonis, playing the Georgia Bulldogs, can get out of his defensive zone and get the ball moving. Nice passing play between three defensive players, one offensive receiver. They're able to sneak the ball through. Gonna Vida go for a run play here. Gets shut down though pretty quickly. Wayne State's Mason Mass playing on the Alabama Crimson Tide here, doing a good job on defense, keeping this game close, trying to preserve his 7-point lead. See what kind of play calls come from Adonis here. Looks like he's trying to gain some serious yardage with one of these plays, but opts for a smart play to not lose yards there. Doesn't see anyone downfield, so advised to just throw the ball away. 2nd and 10 coming up. Trying to get down the field here. Need to convert on those first downs to even give yourself a chance at the end zone. Ball loose yet again. Looked like forward motion on that, but not called a fumble. Fortunate play there for Post University's Adonis. Looking to get some points here. 3rd and 10 is going to have to make a passing play, but it seems like the Wayne State player Mason Mass on Alabama Crimson Tide is picking up what Adonis is putting down right now. He's trying to go for those long plays, those long passing plays, and it's just not working. Maybe mixing up the run game a little bit. Just total defensive domination right now. And it looks like we're going to go with a coaching timeout and a change to the depth chart here. So we are going to take a quick swap on over to another one of our games going on this evening. Heading back to our very first match of the night here. In the second quarter now, we have two MunDayne playing on Ohio State. And we have Bruton Parker College, Gabriel Farmer on Alabama Crimson Tide. Post University's MunDayne here on a 1-0 record here in a best of 3. Trying to get his second win solidified here. Down 8 points on offense here. Second quarter, 4 to go. Gets a nice first down conversion. MSJ Line Esports, how are you doing? Players are doing great tonight for Post University. Seems like they are really tuned in, locked in, making some really nice, all players making some nice make or break plays. All players not trying to play too offensively, trying to play a little bit more conservatively on defense, especially in these second games. Seems like the run game has really increased. Looking for a nice play, wide open. Nice play there.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
And we'll see here if Ohio State
First down run in the red zone.
can come up with it. Oh! And a nice running finish there into the end zone.
One step.
And we've got ourselves almost a tie game here. Will they buy to go for the 2-point conversion here?
Yeah, none of that happened.
Yeah, those are all great things to keep in mind, but you're also trying to tackle another grown man against his will and get him on the ground. And by the way, he wasn't having it.
After the touchdown, if they could get this too, we'll have a tie ball game.
To avoid the well, hopefully those tornadoes don't show up anywhere near you guys. Sorry to hear that, MSJ, but I'm glad that you guys are getting some close wins. GG's indeed. I know there has been a lot of storms in the Midwest of the country lately. Middle of the country, Midwest. So a close game now. Tie game here between Post University's MunDayne and Bruton Parker College Gabriel Farmer here.
The Tide offense rolls onto the field.
So we have MunDayne on Alabama Crimson Tide
Ruined that last drive, David.
for Post University, and we have Bruton Parker Gabriel Farmer on Ohio State.
On the deck, Jesse, but move on, reload.
MunDayne winning his first match, looking to
Practice it all week.
pick up his second win here. It's going to be tough, though, with a tie score.
Gotta do a better job moving forward.
Seems like Bruton Parker College's player, Gabriel Farmer, has
Wide receiver shows
stepped up his defense. Much more of a tighter game this time. First game was pretty tight as well.
He's off.
Oh, but a breakthrough. Oh, huge yard gainage with that run. 106 yards.
And he's got it at the 22-yard line.
And you see so
Great carry, great run all the way to the 22-yard line.
the quarterback catches
Nice play by MunDayne there.
completed pass. You see the
Doesn't go out of bounds, able to just hug that line,
really quickly.
pick up those crucial yards.
Ball coming in motion. It's just an incomplete pass.
On the 22nd yard line, 1st and 10 here for MunDayne of Post University. Let's see if he can convert.
Quarterback keeps it.
Going for the run game.
And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
Minimal pickup there, 3 yards.
Always zoomed in.
But every yard is big when you're getting towards the red zone, especially when I pick up that another first down there
Know where they're gonna
at the
be.
10.
You focus in, the defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting.
Yet again on the run game, keep the opponents guessing here. Maybe a passing play coming, 3rd and 5 if you are the Ohio State player for Bruton Parker College. You might think that some zone coverage would be a good defensive strategy here, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Huge interception there.
Make a stand.
15-15 game.
Return after the
Oh,
offense for this possession. And it just
absolutely massive.
opportunity. You get the ball in the red zone and you turn it over.
Momentum. It plays a big
Great interception there.
for offenses. And when you have chances like that, when you're down in this area of the field, you've got to be able to come away with points. Even if it's not going to be a touchdown, you are not leaving this area of the field without putting at least 3 up on the board. Missed opportunity for the other.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there.
So at a 15-15 game, close to the end zone interception.
Touchdown.
This game is getting pretty close.
Break the tie.
Yeah, this offense has got it cooked.
Second quarter almost over, almost at the halfway point of this game. Oh, and a huge turnover again. It's turnover after turnover, interception after interception. You can see MunDayne not too happy with that after just making a beautiful interception himself. Ends up throwing away an interception there at could be a crucial point of this game. Gonna have to lock in here and play some crucial defense. Maybe you'll be gifted another opportunity to get that ball back.
Time and comes out to throw it.
Here comes another deep ball
Catch inside.
and catches it. Oh, and a 2-play conversion.
A big play and they'll move the chains.
Huge plays with the interceptions back to back, turning the ball over, and then a Hail Mary play not covered, able to get close right on the doorstep. What a turn of events here.
Some would even say sneaky.
taking their timeouts before the end of the half here.
They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline.
Smart play by the Bruton Parker college player Gabriel Farmer, using his timeouts very strategically.
Second and goal.
After all that chaos between the interceptions,
Back to throw. It's Milrow.
and able to convert. Nice job by the Bruton Parker player
One more onto that lead.
Gabriel Farmer to convert on that 18 seconds left in the half. Extra point is good.
Quick strike.
And the Bruton Parker college
Scoring drive.
player Gabriel Farmer will go up
1 yard touchdown pass.
22-15 against Post University's MunDayne. We'll see if Post University's MunDayne can come back
Bring it out to the 25.
during the third quarter. Gonna be jumping on over once again to our second game of the night. BigSneezy here on his second match of the night, going up against North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ.
We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They'll run the screen.
On board here with BigSneezy versus CQ. Post University's BigSneezy versus North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ on the Michigan Wolverines. BigSneezy on the Georgia Bulldogs here. Tight game, 21-14. BigSneezy has possession on the Bulldogs. Able to convert that first down here, looking for his second win of the night as well. Thank you very much, MSJ Lions Esports. Appreciate it. Hope to see you guys again soon as well.
The offense will quickly use a timeout.
Offense taking a timeout here. BigSneezy. 13 seconds left before the half. 2nd and 9, trying to convert. Trying to at least get 3 points here. In field goal range, vying to go for one more play here before he has to use his last timeout.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
I think he was able to get out of the end zone there, stop the clock, but going to go for the field goal, takes the timeout.
Precious seconds.
2 seconds left. And will hopefully be able to convert 3 more points onto the board to widen that lead between Post University's BigSneezy on the Georgia Bulldogs and North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ on the Michigan Wolverines. Second match for BigSneezy here tonight out of a best of 3. So trying to pick up his second win and move forward here. And this will be the half, and now we are starting the third quarter. And before we jump into this third quarter, we are going to hop right back on to another game here, our third game of the night, which is Post University's Adonis versus Wayne State's Mason Mass. Post University's Adonis playing as the Georgia Bulldogs, and Wayne State's Mason Mass playing as the Alabama Crimson Tide. It seems like the tides have changed, and it seems like Alabama Crimson Tide is taking control of this game. Wayne State's Mason Mass just trying to play some good defense here. Offense, and add to the lead. As Post University's Adonis going to need to play some defense here before the half. Maybe get a crucial stop so they can get some points on the board here during their possessions. Third and goal here for Alabama Crimson Tide, being played by Wayne State Mason Mass. Both of these players very experienced. They've gotten this far throughout the season. The ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. This is the top 16 bracket, the start of the top 16 bracket. All three matches tonight, all these players looking to move on to the next round. But before they do that, they have got to win these best 2 out of 3 matches against their opponents. Alabama Crimson Tide able to pick up yet another touchdown. Post University's Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs going to have to make a miraculous comeback here. Got to put some points on the board here before the half if he is going to be able to get back into this game. And we will be hopping back into our first matchup of the night, which is Post University's MunDayne versus Bruton Parker College's Gabriel Farmer.
All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks.
So let's see how MunDayne is doing here. Very tight game, 22-22. MunDayne from Post University on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bruton Parker College player Gabriel Farmer.
They take the lead with the 6.
Sometimes it's players, not plays, or sometimes it's both. And when you got that guy and you put him in the slot and you let him burn for a go route.
Nice touchdown play there from the Alabama Crimson Tide player.
Great job by the offense, and that speed you can't teach, and that's why he's in the house for 6.
He gets it in there for the 2-point conversion in the lead.
And the 2-point conversion is good for the Alabama Crimson Tide player. Bruton Parker College player Gabriel Farmer playing on the Alabama Crimson Tide, and Post University's MunDayne playing on the Ohio State Buckeyes. So Post University's MunDayne in the third quarter here with 2 minutes 18 seconds left. Gonna have to go into his bag of tricks here and find some way to come up with some points here. If you're just joining us now, we are on a 3-part game session here between the ECAC College Football 2025 playoffs, top 16 bracket, going between each player here competing tonight. There are 3 players competing for Post University, so welcome on in if you're just tuning in. I'm your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew. Hope everyone is having an excellent evening and is enjoying this college football action. Big interception there from the Alabama Crimson Tide player, Bruton Parker College, Gabriel Farmer. Nice interception, good read. Looking to widen the lead here. Try to keep that lead out of reach from Post University player MunDayne on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Close game here. Both players really not trying to give up an inch of ground. But it's football. You're going to give up ground, so you have to have a strategy and a backup plan. Plan A, B, and C, most likely. Both players by now probably have a good read of how the other player is play calling on offense and defense. So both players by now using plays that are working for them and maybe trying out a few experimental plays here and there. Sticking to the ground and able to pick up that first down. Post University's MunDayne on the Ohio State Buckeyes going to have to come up with a crucial stop here. Try to only allow the Bruton Parker college player on Alabama to only pick up a field goal instead of a touchdown. That might be a crucial play in this game. That's why a lot of the times they say defense wins games. Hopping into the fourth quarter now, we'll see if Post University's MunDayne can spring a comeback.
Second down now as they're ready to go back.
Going to be hopping back on here between BigSneezy, Post University's BigSneezy, against North Carolina Wesleyan University's CQ. This is the second match of the night for Post University's BigSneezy.
Opportunity that they need to answer.
And down by 17, it's not panic mode yet.
So it looks like Post University's BigSneezy here taking the lead, a 38-21 lead against the North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ on Michigan. 38-21. So let's see if the North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ can try to get something going here. Unable to. Good defense there by Post University's BigSneezy. Able to get contact. Good contact. Getting the ball dislodged and forcing a 3rd and 10 here. Putting the pressure on for North Carolina Wesleyan University's player CQ. Getting late in the game and points need to be put on the board. Oh, but a huge defensive play there from Post University's BigSneezy. That Georgia Bulldogs defense is legendary. And it is put on display for you folks right there. Big sack from Post University's BigSneezy there, which will lead the Michigan Wolverine player from North Carolina Wesleyan University, CQ, to kick it off. Making big contact there at the 45, almost the 50. 1st and 10 here, and we'll see if Post University's BigSneezy can continue to add to his lead in this second game here. Remember, folks, this is the best 2 out of 3. BigSneezy has already won one match, so if he can maintain this lead for another 4 minutes and 54 seconds, he will have advanced. So going to be hopping back and forth between games here quickly as they start wrapping up here. BigSneezy here looking to try to convert. Ends up picking... Oh, 2nd and inches. Does not end up getting the first down, but close. This is a big first down for him. If he's able to pick up this first down, and even a field goal, will probably be able to finish this game. So GG's to BigSneezy here. Hopefully he's able to finish this one. If not, then we will have a second match. But we are going to tune in to our second game, or to our third game here of the night. Which is, we are back on board with Post University's Adonis versus Wayne State's Mason Mass. So it seems like now this is the start to the second game. The third game, actually. This is the third game. So it means that this is a tie game right now. So let me update that score. Okay, so that score now should be updated. Sorry about that. We have a 1-1 game here, best of 3. So we're going to tune in before we finish this game and start with our best of 3 game here, which is being played by Post University's Adonis. So good luck to him on his third match here. Going to hop back over real quickly and try to finish up our second matches here. back on board here with two MunDayne. MunDayne from Post University
One more play before the 2-minute warning.
against the Bruton Parker player. Bruton Parker College player Levon.
Throws to the tight end.
I did not have that player announced before. My apologies. Bruton Parker College player Levon playing as the Alabama Crimson Tide, and Post University's MunDayne playing as the Ohio State Buckeyes. Fourth quarter, Post University's MunDayne is going to need to come up with some sort of miraculous play here.
Pick up the first down.
Oh, almost an interception there. Close. It's the 2-minute warning here, and it looks like we may be going into a third match here, third tie-breaking match, best of 3 of the series in the ECAC College Football 25 playoffs top 16 bracket here. Post University's MunDayne up 1-0 right now in matches with 2 minutes left.
And they won't make the connection.
Is going to need to make some sort of connection there and not able to, as the Bruton Parker College player on the Alabama Crimson Tide, Levon, is looking to force a game 3. Minute 56 left in this game here. And we'll see.
Skips away from pressure.
He's able to convert here with that. Nice catch. Nice play. Nice passing play by Post University's MunDayne. This game is not over yet. Gonna get the conversion. Get the 1-point conversion there. Extra point. So now does the onside kick come out? A miraculous play is needed here indeed. So the onside kick is going to come out here from Post University's MunDayne. Timeout called by the defense, trying to ice the kicker a little bit.
They got one of the touchdowns they needed, and they'll try to get the ball back.
Trying to throw his timing off maybe. And here comes the onside kick. Looks good. Looks good. Ball comes loose.
Hope to get that thing bouncing.
Oh, but almost able to recover, but is recovered by the offense, the receiving team, Alabama Crimson Tide.
First down.
And that's going to do it for the second game here.
The quarterback takes a snap.
He'll take a knee, and that's going to be end of the game as Bruton Parker College player Levon tying the series up 1-1.
Scenario, I guess. Good news is you're going to score. This offense looks like they can be explosive and they can light up the scoreboard. Bad news though, David.
So a lot of college football action happening here tonight, folks. Going to take us over now to our second game of the night here. Still in the fourth quarter. And this is BigSneezy for Post University versus the North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ, playing as the Michigan Wolves. As the Michigan Wolverines, excuse me. Close game. This game is tightened up here. Here comes another onside kick here, recovered by the offensive team. Nice job by BigSneezy to get that onside kick recovered. So now BigSneezy has a minute and 33 left to defend his lead of 3 points here. At the 40-yard line, the opponent's 40-yard line. Vying to go for the run game here, grab some yards. Don't want to put the ball up in the air, especially at this point in the game. Don't want to risk a interception. Up by 3, already in field goal range, but would like to definitely vie to go for the touchdown here. Still picking up first downs. North Carolina Wesleyan University player CQ here. Trying to get the stops they need here to leave enough time left in the clock to get the ball back Oh, putting the ball in the air here. Ooh, close play. Does not connect. 2nd and 10 with 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. Post-University player BigSneezy on the Georgia Bulldogs trying to secure the win and move on in this best of 3 ECAC College Football 25 playoffs in the top 16 bracket. Trying to move on to the top 12. Like I said, I am your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew. Welcome along if you're just joining. This is the top 16 bracket. 3 post-university players tonight are vying to make it into the top 12 bracket of the ECAC College Football 25 playoffs and continue their journey to esports greatness, shall we say. Definitely want to make a name for themselves here as sports players, as esports athletes, and as knowledgeable and smart college football players and gamers alike. Timeout called with 7 seconds left, and it looks like that is going to do it. So that is going to do it for Post University's BigSneezy. Congratulations to him, as he is going to be moving on to the top 12 in the ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. Congrats to him. Great game, great plays, great strategy. And now we are going to hop over to our third game of the evening, which is our best of 3 1-1 match right now between Post University's Adonis and Wayne State's Mason Mass. Post University Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs. Wayne State Mason Mass on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Nice completion play there from the Georgia Bulldogs player. Post University Adonis looking to try to get some points on the board here, down 9 points to Wayne State's player Mason Mass. Nice completion again though, and going to be stopped just short of the first yard of the 1st and goal line. Oh, and a huge interception play comes out just as Post Adonis thought he was going to tighten the score up. Wayne State's Mason Mass with a huge interception, taking the ball all the way down the field for a 90-yard pick six. That has got to hurt in a 1-1 tie match series. Widening the lead like that is a crucial play. Wayne State's Mason Mass taking control of this game on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Post University's Adonis going to need to answer here and get some points on the board before the half is over. Before this first half is over. 4 minutes to go here. Plenty of time. 4 points to be put on the board. Gonna take a stroll with the quarterback here and get close to a first down. So just going to take us back really quickly before this play ends. So congratulations to BigSneezy. He won his match 2-0. Excellent job. Or sorry, it was 2-0. Yes, 2-0 for BigSneezy. So congrats to him. He is on to the top 12 in the ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. Post University's BigSneezy. Congrats. And good luck in the top 12. Hopping on over now to our first game of the night. This is the tied series that is 1-1. We have 2 series going on now that are 1-1 games, so 2 games now. Post University's BigSneezy finished his series and is moving on to the top 12, so congratulations to him. We'll see if these other two post-university players can also join him, or will their journey end here at the top 16? On board right now with MunDayne for post-university against Bruton Parker College's Gabriel Farmer. Post-university MunDayne on Ohio State. Bruton Parker College's Gabriel Farmer on the Texas Longhorns. Finally, we are seeing the Texas Longhorns. So we've seen the top 5 tonight. Ohio State, Alabama, Texas, Michigan. Incomplete pass there.
The offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
And the D deny them on 2nd and goal.
0-0 game here for a tiebreaker match to move on to the top 12 here. Post-university's MunDayne trying to get a stop here on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Nice stop. So you can see he's satisfied with that defensive play there. Really nice stop. 3rd and goal.
You got 2 downs. What are you thinking here? Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run pass option. See if you can get the defense in a hole.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter with a 0-0 game. To MunDayne of post-university on the Ohio State Buckeyes trying to stave off this 1st and goal push from Bruton Parker College's Lavon. Another big sack, able to move the ball back again. Still 0-0 game. Really nice plays here from post-university's MunDayne. Nice, and a huge interception too. Texas Longhorn player Lavon from Bruton Parker College trying to get something going on the passing game with 4th and goal, but not able to. Throws it blindly, and post-university's MunDayne on the Ohio State Buckeyes able to pick it off. And now post-university's MunDayne will start his drive. And we'll check up on this drive in a few minutes as we are going to hop over to our other game of the night, which is post-university's Adonis versus Wayne State's Mason Mass. So we have a 16-8 game, Ohio State winning against the Georgia Bulldogs. Post-university's Adonis playing as the Georgia Bulldogs. And we also have the Wayne State College Mason Mass playing as the Ohio State Buckeyes. 16-8. This is also a 1-1 match point game here. Winner takes all in this game. And it will vie to move on to the top 12 in the ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. We have already had one player tonight make their way into the top 12, and we'll see if these other two post-university CFB college football athletes can make it in, esport athletes can make it in as well. Georgia Bulldogs post-university Adonis looking for a big stop here if he can get one, but not able to, as a nice short passing route from the Ohio State Buckeyes being played by the Wayne State player, Mason Mass. Nice touchdown conversion there. extra point conversion. So 23-8. Post University's Adonis on the Georgia Bulldogs going to have to get to work. Now is the time. Try to lighten the load and get a touchdown here before the first half. I'm sure Post Adonis would love to do nothing more than score a touchdown within these next 34 seconds. But will the Wayne State player Mason Mass allow him to do so? Will he tighten up the defense? No gaps, and it looks like he will as a huge sack goes out there. Loss of yardage. And we'll see if Post University's Adonis can convert here with 29 seconds to go. Before the half. Going for a long stretch Hail Mary here and intercepted, though, by the Ohio State Buckeyes. Wayne State player Mason Mass reads that Hail Mary perfectly and able to get two defenders on top of it, get the interception. And unfortunately, that is not what the Post University play. Oh, but a huge interception again, right back. A massive interception right back for the Georgia Bulldogs. Post University Adonis gifted some life. Can he convert on it now? Looking, trying to get something out. Gonna try to go for the long ball and does get it. With 9 seconds left, running out of bounds. Will 9 seconds be enough for two chances? 9 seconds will probably be only a chance for one play here, so he's going to vie to go for the end zone instead of the field goal, the long-range field goal. Needs the points on the board. Can he get them? And is able to get 2 plays out of that. Ran a very quick route there. Able to get the ball in the offender's hands very quickly. In the wide receiver's hands. Nice job, but still not vying to go for those 3 points. Would rather go for the touchdown with 4 to go on the clock. Gonna need to find a man open and unable to. You'd think in a game this close, maybe the 3 points for the field goal conversion would have been better to just take the points, get to double digits, get past double digits, and get the score closer. But he went for the make or break play there, give him credit, but unfortunately did not work out in his favor and is gonna have to kick the ball away now. Down 8-23. We'll see if Post Adonis can make this comeback in this second half. Going to hop right back on over to our other game going on, our first game between Post University's MunDayne on board now with Post University's MunDayne versus Bruton Parker College's Levon. Bruton Parker College player Levon on the Texas Longhorns. That's a tongue twister for you. And Post University's MunDayne on Ohio State. The game is still 0-0. Tight match here. User stripped fumble, though. It looks like it was a stripped fumble for Ohio State. So a big turnover there. Post University's MunDayne now in control of the ball. With 1:21 to go in this first half, can he convert and get the first points on the board of this game?
And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few. Well, he made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this.
2nd and 7, trying to just inch the ball up the field.
I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move.
Get these first downs.
He can make that guy miss.
Looking to make a cross route play there, cross pass route play. Not there, though. No one home. His receiver was there. He was just lagging way behind, unfortunately, on that one. So a 0-0 game, 3rd and 7 here. Can Post University's MunDayne
On 3rd and long,
make it a great play here to at least get into the first down, and he does. Nice first down. Nice little spin move there, too, just to make sure that he got it.
Guys come to the line with a new set of downs. Trying to find his man on first down.
And a
As he released the pass.
sack there for the Texas Longhorns. Kind of looks like he just bumped into him, but the quarterback fell over.
QB's taught to hold on to it to the last possible second. He had no shot trying to negotiate that defender.
Going to try to go with the run game now.
Really good.
Inching closer and closer to that first down. Going to take a timeout here.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Post University's MunDayne has all 3 timeouts, just used 1. So he's got 2 left here, 44 seconds. On a good drive here. A short drive, but picking up the first downs, and that's what matters. Trying to give yourself a chance at the end zone.
In short, they'll try to throw for it.
3rd and short, able to convert another first down.
Steps out of bounds, but
And inching closer and closer to that end zone with each play. Nice job, Post University's MunDayne.
ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback's patient,
Throws toward the end.
Goes towards the end zone. Oh, and almost got intercepted there.
Lucky to get that one back.
I think the CFB college football announcers said that as best as it could be said there. He's lucky to get that ball back. That was a poorly thrown
After the
ball as it was right into the defender's hands.
3.
But luckily for MunDayne, he dropped it, and now moving towards the end zone and is able to stomp his way into the end zone. A nice spinorama move.
That is exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half,
Able to walk it right into the end zone, scoring the first points of this 1-1 winner takes all advance. Winner advances to the top 12 in this ECAC college football playoffs.
Get the first 7 of the game. So that's a
First 7 points of the game goes to Post University's MunDayne.
it off with the 33-yard touchdown run. The
With only 27 seconds to go in the half, let's see if MunDayne can play some defense here, keeping the Texas Longhorn player from
inside his own 25.
Bruton Parker College, LaVaughn, off the board here. 25 seconds left in this first half. MunDayne would like to play a very conservative defense here, I'm guessing. Vying to go for some cover zone plays. Just hold out the 25 seconds.
As this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half.
25 seconds here left to go. Players selecting their plays, and with that in mind, we will switch it on over once again to our second game, going back and forth here. Switching back to Post University's Adonis, seeing if he can make a comeback here. But with time dwindling now, 2 minutes and 24 seconds in the fourth quarter, Post University's Adonis playing the Georgia Bulldogs 8-37. Wayne State player playing the Ohio State Buckeyes. Mason Mass running away with this lead 37-8 in this tie game. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left for Post University Adonis. Winner advances to the top 12 of these ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. Post University Adonis going to need to make some really quick action plays and try to get the ball up the field as quickly as possible here with only 2:05 remaining. And unfortunately, a misthrown ball like that is not going to be able to get him much there, except just another chance at a Hail Mary. These have been very competitive matches. This last one has been unfortunate for Post University's Adonis. The effort is there. The plays are just not connecting. And for the Wayne State player Mason Mass, it seems like everything is coming together for him this game, defensive-wise, offensive-wise, play call-wise. And just able to have those defenders in the right spot and read those plays, get those interceptions, make it tough, really tough for your opponent to try to get down the field. Reading your opponent's play style within 1 to 2 games can be tough, though, on a game especially like college football, where a lot of players will vie to play very fast, play with a lot of aggression. Not usually the type of game where you would play super conservative on, especially in college football. It's usually more saved for the pro leagues. Seems like that's why college football is one of the biggest sports in the country. It's because a lot of these young players are trying to make a name for themselves, like these post-university esport athletes, and are trying to go all out and really showcase their skill. And that's why I think college football, at the end of the day, is just a little bit more exciting than the National Football League. Nice sack there from the Ohio State player, Wayne State player Mason Mass. As we have a minute left to go here, it would take an utter miracle at this point, unfortunately, for post-university Adonis to tie this game up. But can he put some points on the board? Unfortunately, right there, a missed throw, a misthrown ball. And with a minute left, it looks like that Wayne State's player Mason Mass will move on to the top 12. As the clock ticks down here, he just has to take a knee here, and that'll pretty much do it. So, very nice try by Post University's Adonis. Brought it to a tie 1-1 game. But within this best of 3, it'll be Wayne State's Mason Mass on the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking the 2-1 match point and moving on to the ECAC College Football 25 playoffs, the top 12. So congrats to him. GG's to Post University's Adonis. Excellent effort, excellent try. And we wish him the best luck for the next for his next competition. And that will be the end of this game. With the fourth quarter wrapping up, we are going to transfer it over to our last game of the evening here, which is Mr. Post University's MunDayne versus Bruton Parker College's Levon in a 1-1 match point game. So this is our last match of the night, our last match point game of the night. 1-1 is the match score right now. This is our tiebreaker match to decide who is moving on to the top 12 here in these top 12 bracket of the ECAC college football playoffs. MunDayne here up 1 point, but almost in the red zone here. In the red zone now, first and goal. Now second and goal. Looking to convert here. Definitely want to keep these points going. Will he go with another run play here? It looks like he does, and able to get into the end zone. Post University's MunDayne getting in the end zone as the Ohio State Buckeyes going for the extra point conversion. It is good. 14-6. Up 8 points against the Texas Longhorns player from Bruton Parker College, Levon. 1-1 game here. If you're just joining us, this is our last match of the night. This is a tiebreaker match to see who goes on to the top 12. We've already had one post-university player advance to the top 12. Congrats to BigSneezy on advancing to the ECAC College Football 25 top 12 playoff bracket. And we'll see if post-university MunDayne can do the same here. Or will it be Bruton Parker College's Lavon? Both players vying for this spot in the top 12. Winner of this game advances. Want to take a quick shout out to our live stream chatters. Thank you guys for being here. Also, thank you very much, Post University, for allowing me to shoutcast these games. I really do appreciate it, and it is a lot of fun. Really enjoy casting these esport titles and watching these esport athletes compete and try to go for gold. 14-6 game here. Third quarter, 3:01 left. Third and 4 to go here. Third down and 4 to go for the Texas Longhorns player. Going for a absolute massive Hail Mary, but slips out of his hands. And you can see Post MunDayne there wiping the sweat off his brow, as that looked like the Texas Longhorns receiver was going to haul that in, but slipped at the last second. That could have been a big momentum changing play there. Able to pick up the first down, 1st and 10, but Post MunDayne really not trying to allow Post University player MunDayne on the Ohio State Buckeyes, not trying to allow the Texas Longhorns player from Bruton Parker College, Lavon, trying not to give him any sort of wide gaps, wide openings, really trying to commit to this zone coverage, trying to force the Texas Longhorns player to run the ball rather than trying to go for those longer passing convert plays. Gonna vie for these shorter passes. They are working at the moment. Seems like Post University's MunDayne is okay with them getting the positive yards rather than them getting the massive positive Hail Mary yards. So playing for the long game, the zone coverage, and hoping that his defense will clean up, the front four will clean up any sort of quick passing plays. But definitely vying for that medium to long zone coverage right now. Texas Longhorns player here from Bruton Parker College, Lavon, trying to convert here, tie this game up. Able to go for these short hook route passes. And if he's able to get another playoff like that again, it'll be 3 first downs in a row that short hook route has worked for them. Going for it once again, but receiver not able to be there. 3rd and 2nd. 3rd and short could be a big defensive stop here for Post University's MunDayne. Looking to win this game and move on to the top 12. Oh, but just misses the tackle on the feet there. Able to clean him up. Really would have liked to hit that tackle, the first tackle, but just missed him, grabbing him by the ankles. And able to convert on another first down is Bruton Parker College's player Lavon, playing the Texas Longhorns. Able to go for another short pass play, pick up another first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal. At this point in time, Post University's MunDayne just trying to play a very tight, conservative game here, holding his lead, not trying to overcommit, over-acknowledge these big passing plays that are coming out of the Texas Longhorns. Oh, and an absolutely huge! I remember that play from the New England Patriots Super Bowl about 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, it was a lot longer than that. I'm old, don't listen to this caster. But that was just like that play in the Super Bowl. Patriots were down and out. They vie to go for the throw instead of the run, Patriots versus the Seahawks. And able to just grab and scoop that ball right before it enters the end zone. Such a dangerous play to throw the ball in the red zone like that. And post University's MunDayne is absolutely gifted an interception there. And now he is on 2nd and goal for his offense. Just like that, things can switch that quickly in college football. And in football in general. So with that gift, will Post University's MunDayne be able to convert? And he will into the end zone. So he went from being a few yards away from losing a touchdown, and now he goes from being a few yards into getting a touchdown. And that's how quickly it turns. And gets the extra point as well. Nice job to Post University's MunDayne. 2 plays into the end zone. Big smiles coming out from MunDayne right now. You know he's happy with that performance. Bit of a gift there, but then he turns that gift into a nice skilled play. But loses the defender on a return with 3, 2, 1 in the third, and it can go all the way for a touchdown. The Bruton Parker College player, Levon, gave away an easy touchdown with that interception that Post University's MunDayne just capitalized on, but then gets the ball back right before the end of the third quarter here and makes a run for it all the way down to get the touchdown anyways. Gonna vie to go for 2. 1 second on the board in the third quarter. Why not? Try to tighten this game up even more. 3 rushers though. Good rush there. Good blitz by Post University's MunDayne. And he'll manage to still maintain his lead here. Nice job converting on that play. Gave up a touchdown, but hey, you're still up in this game. Got to stay positive. Got to still try to play conservative, I imagine, and try to hang on to this lead and just try to kill time as much as you can. Make the opponents use their timeouts here in the fourth quarter. So one more quarter to go here for Post University's MunDayne to try to hang on to this lead and then advance to the ECAC College Football 25 top 12 playoff bracket.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call.
And we'll see here if Post University's MunDayne on the Ohio State Buckeyes can keep the push going and keep the clock running. Nice grab there, nice passing play, nice little spinorama, and just enough to get the first down. As long as that clock is running and the ball is in his hands, Post MunDayne is got a smile on his face and is happy. Gonna have to play some conservative defense and make sure you don't just blow a gasket and blow a lead. It's built up a pretty good lead here with 4 minutes to go. Just don't want to make any crazy plays that might end up turning the ball over. Seems like he's pretty happy just running the ball here. The question is, will the Texas Longhorns player from Bruton Parker College, Levon, start using his timeouts early, or will he save them till after this drive? Post University player MunDayne happy to get another first down here. 3 minutes and 25 seconds away from a win and moving on to the top 12 bracket in these playoffs. And if you're just tuning in and catching the end of this, we are in the fourth quarter of our last game. We had 3 collegiate players from Post University tonight competing for their chance to get into the top 12 bracket. And here goes the Ohio State Buckeyes, Post University's MunDayne, slow walking, a little bow there into the end zone. Nice job to Post University's MunDayne. Really nice passing plays there. Able to take this game and extend his lead, and hopefully within 2 minutes and 46 seconds for him, advance to the top 12 bracket of the ECAC College 25 playoffs. 25 points, good. He's doing a little dance. He's feeling himself. And like I said before, now he's probably going to want to just play conservative defense. And if he manages to do that, this game should be in his hands, and we should have 2 of the 3 post-university players that have been competing throughout this season move on to the top 12 here. We already had 1 player advance tonight. Congrats once again to Post University's BigSneezy on securing a spot in the top 12. And now Post MunDayne is trying to join BigSneezy in the top 12 bracket. Oh, but a huge Hail Mary play there. And it's going to pay off for the Longhorns player. Bruton Parker College LaVaughn. Bruton Parker College player LaVaughn buys to go for the Hail Mary there. And it caught Post University's MunDayne off guard. Able to convert, going for 2 there and intercepted. That is got to feel good for MunDayne there, as he is going to just keep it running here with the interception on the 2-point conversion, trying, and will take it home. All the way home.
Great job on special teams, getting penetration, getting the block. You've got the
Nice job to take that 2-point conversion all the way back to the other side there. Pick up 2 of his own. Onside kick. Ball is loose. And the Longhorns recover, so still staying on to life here. If MunDayne would have recovered that ball, he could have started forcing timeouts there. But now that the Texans have the ball again, they might be able to wiggle their way back into this game here. If another Hail Mary play comes along, Post University's MunDayne definitely wants to play a conservative, long-range route covers. Especially, he does not want to let the Hail Mary plays go off. He wants to play that zone coverage very deep. And if he does end up giving up the smaller plays, well, I'm sure he'll be a lot more happy giving up the smaller plays than the long-range Hail Mary plays, making sure the zone coverage is where it needs to be, so that if the ball is caught, the tackle can be made right after very quickly. 18-26. Bruton Parker College player on the Texas Longhorns, LaVaughn, trying to convert here, trying to keep himself in this game, but needs to put points on the board. And we are now at the 2-minute warning here. Post University MunDayne trying to play that conservative zone coverage defense. Trying to keep the Texas Longhorns out of the end zone here. But here comes another huge play in the corner. What a catch! What a play and what a catch from Bruton Parker College's LaVaughn on the Texas Longhorns, finding the one guy that wasn't covered and hitting the Hail Mary right into the corner of the end zone. 24-31, and Post University's MunDayne now. No smiles anymore, as this game has gotten a lot closer than he would like it to be. This onside kick is huge here. Here comes another onside kick. Ball bounces, and it is able to recover it within that. Not the best onside kick there from the Texas Longhorns. Didn't get the bounces that they wanted on it like they did the first one. Kind of just rolled right into the Ohio State player's arms. So with a minute 54 left, Post University's MunDayne running the ball, running the clock, forcing the Texas Longhorns player from Bruton Parker College, LaVaughn, to use his first timeout. We are in a one-touchdown game here, so running the clock, but also trying to at least get in field goal range has got to be what's on Post University's players' MunDayne's mind.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball.
Fourth quarter, 1 minute 45 seconds to go. 3rd and 10. Post University player MunDayne in control of this game. But for how long? 3rd and 10, needs to get another first down to keep it going. Might try to sneak it with a quarterback, and does. Oh, but a fumble comes out. The ball is out. The ball is out with a minute 38 left. And Bruton Parker College's player LaVaughn was just gifted a fumble from that opportunity. And now Post University player MunDayne is going to have to come up with a huge defense to stop this Texas Longhorns advance. Oh, and a big sack, though, already. Not sure what the Bruton Parker College player had in mind there, but nice job by the defense there from Post University player MunDayne. Minute 25 left. One timeout on the board for Texas Longhorns player LaVaughn. And another great defensive blitz there from Post University's MunDayne on defense. 3rd and 26. Something is going to have to come out of the bag. Someone's going to have to pull a cat out of the bag for this one. 3rd and long, looks like he's just going to try to get yardage, and it's fourth down territory now here, folks. And does pick up the first down. Post University player MunDayne unhappy with that one. 50 seconds to go here. One timeout. Oh, and a huge sack there. Ball comes out, but not a fumble. 50 seconds left to go. Texas Longhorns trying to get this game back. Bruton Parker College playing as the Texas Longhorns Post University player MunDayne on Ohio State. Timeout has not been used yet by the Bruton Parker College player LaVaughn. Still holding on to it, trying to get as much field position as he can. But really solid conservative defensive plays here from Post University's MunDayne. He's forcing a lot of incompletions. 4th and 10 here. This could be the game right here. This is the game right here if he cannot convert. And he'll throw it. And it is incomplete. And that will book Post University players MunDayne to the top 12 in these ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. Congrats to MunDayne and booking his trip to the next bracket. Top 12. Just a recap for you guys tonight. We had 2 Post University students make it into the top 12 bracket here. Congrats to Post University's BigSneezy and Post University's MunDayne on their wins tonight and advancing to the top 12 bracket of these ECAC College Football 25 playoffs. Excellent job. GG's to those players. And we are back. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning into all of these games. It was an absolute blast. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. Congrats to the 2 post-university players that managed to book their trip into the top 12. And very excited to see how the rest of this bracket turns out. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, this has been your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew here. You can check my Twitter out if you'd like. At me there. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And once again, thank you to Post University for allowing me to shoutcast these wonderful esport events. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Talk to you next time.